This is actually the second video that I'm filming in a row today, and it is currently 12:08 a.m., so it's midnight. But I just thought, you know what? I'm on a roll with filming videos, so let's film this video. So just disclaimer, if you like this look, I just did a video on it. It's me using the Raw Beauty Kristi X ColourPop collection. So if you like this look, or have questions about the products that I use, go check out that video. I will link it down below. But anyway, this video is not about the Raw Beauty Kristi collection. It's actually a decluttering video. It's actually a decluttering video and an empties video. So it is the end of the year. We're starting a new year soon, and I just wanted to declutter a lot of the things because I'm going to be getting gifts and stuff like that. And I want to go out with the old and in with the new. So I decided to declutter some things that I was keeping in my stash that I really had no reason to be just keeping around. So I'm going to declutter those things. And actually, the palettes that I'm decluttering were determined by you guys. So if you don't follow me on Instagram already, follow me. Here's my Instagram. That is where I post daily, and I post about makeup. Basically on my story, the results are in, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So that'll come at the end of the video, but right now we're going to go and look at the things that I'm definitely decluttering and that I'm definitely decluttering or that I've emptied. And at the end of the video, I'll show you guys the results of the palettes that I'm going to be decluttering and the ones that I'm going to be keeping based on your guys' recommendations. So if you want to do something like that in the future, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram will be down below, and check that out. Right next to me, I have my box of empties and declutters. So if I'm reaching over here, that's what I'm reaching for. So first product I will be leaving in 2020 is the Milani blush in the shade Tea Rose. I love this blush. This was the only blush I was using for a long time, but I don't reach for it anymore because I have two palettes, because I have a blush palette that has a color exactly like this and it's more pigmented, so I just don't reach for this. Next up is this little ColourPop Z palette, and I had a bigger ColourPop Z palette and I got rid of it because I never used it, and then I put the shades that I might potentially still use in this little tiny one that holds 4. I have never reached for this, and I have all of these colors already in my other palettes, so I'm decluttering. I just never reach for it, and I feel guilty getting rid of it, but never reach for it, and it's just taking up space, and it doesn't give me joy, so decluttered. Next up is this Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Cream Kit. I don't use any color besides this one. I think you can kind of tell. I don't have any Z palettes that I can depot this and put it in, so I'm just getting rid of the whole thing. I am kind of sad about that, but I already have 2 cream contour products that I really do like, and I just never reach for this, and if I only use 1 out of the 6 shades, it is not worth it. But I did get this on sale at TJ Maxx for like less than $20, so I don't feel so bad about getting rid of it. And I also bought this like 2 years ago, so it's not like it's brand new. Okay, another declutter. This is the NYX Color Correcting Palette. I've had this since high school. It is gross. I was gonna try to use up these 2 shades, but there's just hair in it and dust in it, and this is very expired and I don't use it enough. So I do want to get into color correcting for my under eyes because I do have dark circles, but I don't think I'm going to be keeping this. I'm probably going to try out a higher end product that doesn't crease like nobody's business. So next is this is skincare. It's the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, and I liked this and I thought it was nice, and then I looked at the long ingredients list and I realized how much fragrance and chemicals and ingredients I don't like to use are in this, and it has silicone in it, and I don't like using silicone in my skincare. I just stopped using it completely, but I kept it just because I felt bad that I didn't use it. It's like a year old now, and I did use a lot of it before I realized that I didn't like the ingredients, so I feel good about decluttering this. Next up, this is a declutter, but it's also at the same time an empty because it's basically empty. And the same thing with this. I started getting into looking at ingredients not like a long time ago, and I just kind of let these sit in my skincare drawer because I didn't want to get rid of them. But this is another one that has silicone in it, but it's a daily moisturizer from Avena with salicylic acid acne treatment plus tone correcting. And I did really like this. I just don't like having silicone in my products, in my skincare products. So I am decluttering this. It was good, but it's just not for me anymore. So that's a declutter. Oh, here's another declutter that I'm actually decluttering based on one of your guys' recommendations. Someone commented on one of my videos about how I've had it for so long and it's expired and I don't like it, that I should just get rid of it. And I realized that you were right. So I am decluttering this. It is the e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer. I don't like this. It doesn't tone adjust at all. It doesn't fill my pores as much as I wanted it to. It kind of mattifies a little bit, but I just don't like this. It is old and I'm getting rid of it. Okay, so next thing I'm decluttering is this Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Wanderlust. This is gorgeous. I love this product. It's just dried out and it doesn't work anymore. And I've basically used up all the product. So, okay, next is this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Eden. I have so much of this left. Like, it's basically a full tube, but I've had this for like 4 years and I'm not even close to being done with it. And I used it every time I put on eyeshadow. And I don't like it. It just makes my eyes so dry and it like makes my eyeshadow like skip and like doesn't really blend well on it. So I don't like this. And I'm just gonna declutter it because why would I keep using products I don't like just to use them up? I've tried my best. I just don't like it. So, okay, so next, this is a Super Shock Cheek highlighter in the shade Wisp. And this is gorgeous. Like, this is really pretty. It's just too dark for my skin, even when I'm tan, and I'm not going to use it as an eyeshadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and declutter it. I feel bad that this didn't get enough use because it is really pretty, but it's used, so I can't donate it. It has to go. So here's another Stila Cosmetics Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Smoky Storm. This is another one that is just dried up. I didn't really use a lot of it at all. It just dried up. So this is a declutter, not an empty, because it's not empty. It's just dry, because I just never used it anyway. This is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick. I just don't like it, and I'm really enjoying my liquid blush from Rare Beauty. I never reached for this, so I just gotta get rid of it. Okay, next, this is another mini. This is from Bite Beauty. This is in the shade Chai. I have this in the full size, so I don't know why I'm keeping it. I was like, oh, well, like, it's good for travel. The full size is small too, so why am I keeping this? That's getting decluttered. A lot of the stuff in this box has been sitting here for months. So next are these Kylie Cosmetics and KKW Cocoa Collab lipsticks. So I bought the set of 4 of these just for one shade. So I'm just keeping the one shade and I'm getting rid of the 3 of these. These are just way too light for my skin, which is crazy because I'm pale. So I'm keeping the one that's like a nice peachy, that's in the shade Kimmy, but I'm getting rid of the rest of these because I never reach for them. I like the packaging, but I just haven't touched them in actual years. I've never worn any of them out besides the one that I'm keeping, so those had to go. This is the Cocoa Collab, the second round by Kylie Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Baby Girl. My boyfriend bought this for me because I was like, oh my gosh, it's called Baby Girl. Like, I love it. And I used it a few times and it dried out my lips like so bad. And it was also like a really bright orange, which I wasn't expecting. So I just didn't use it enough. And I feel really bad because it was a gift, but I have to let it go because I've had this 2 years now. This is another Kylie. This is in the shade Kristen. I love this lipstick so much. It's like my favorite lip color, but it is expired. It dries out my lips beyond belief. And I have a dupe for it now so I'm just gonna declutter it. Okay, next, this is kind of an empty, but also kind of like a declutter. This was one of my lip shades for October, and I broke it. I don't know how I did it, but I broke it. Okay, so the next thing that I'm decluttering is this bronze booster from Physicians Formula. This was like the first bronzer I ever bought. It's just so warm, and it's a little bit too dark for my skin when I'm pale. In the summer, it'll work, but it's still too warm where it's a little bit orangey, and it's just patchy now because I've had this since high school. So it was just time for me to declutter it. I never reach for it. I have better bronzers. Next is this Lid Lingerie, not to be confused with Lip Lingerie. It's the Lid Lingerie from NYX. This is just a gold liquid eyeshadow. I do like this a lot, but it creases so bad. I just can't use it. I do really like it, like the shade. So one time I put it on and I sat here with my eyes shut waiting for it to dry, and when I thought it dried, I opened my eyes and it still creased. So it's just not realistic for me to be using it. When do I really use a liquid eyeshadow, you know? So decluttering. Just, we're getting rid of things we don't use this year, okay? We're leaving everything unnecessary in 2020. So next thing that I'm decluttering is all of these little skincare or primer samples. So this is the Pure Ceratin Serum, the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation. This one's a mattifying foundation by Hourglass. I don't like matte. This is a Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I have the mini size of this. Another Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which I have the mini size of, and the Pure Get a Grip Primer. And I had these sitting on my shelf for like 3 months and I never used them, so I'm never gonna use them. I do like to keep foundation samples to try out, but that's the only thing I'm not decluttering. Every other sample, I was just like, I have to get rid of it. It's about time that I get rid of it, so I did. Okay, so now we're on to the actual empties, the stuff that I actually used up and didn't declutter. So this is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I love this. I absolutely love it, and I will be repurchasing in the future. This is just so good. And I mean, you guys know what the continuous setting spray is. You just know it. I want to get a mini size to take in my purse with me, like get a little bit cakey or like crust up in like the cold winter. I could just spray it on and it'll just soak up into my skin and just melt my makeup back into my skin. It just makes your skin and it makes your makeup look perfect. It looks just okay. Next is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. As you can see, this is an empty. I did really like this, but I bought this when I was in high school, and it has a lot of fragrance in it, and I don't really need to be buying something as expensive as this again, so I won't be repurchasing, but I did like it. Okay, so next we have some mascaras. These are all minis. So we have two of the Milk Makeup Kush mascaras and the NYX Climax mascara. I liked all three of these. And I do want to buy the full size of this eventually. Right now I'm just trying out some drugstore mascaras because I go through mascaras so fast and I really do get a new one every 3 months. So I don't really want to pay so much money for a mascara, but I did really like the Kush mascara. And I did also like the NARS Climax mascara, but it just reminds me a lot of other drugstore mascaras, so why would I pay a high-end price if I can get a drugstore mascara that works just as well? We have two ColourPop eyebrow pencils, and these are both in the shade Brunette, and they're both the Brow Boss, and I just get these from Ulta or the ColourPop website. I think I had another one, but I threw that out and I forgot to save it, but these are two of them. I have another one in my drawer. Like, I love these. These are holy grail, and they're $5. I will definitely be repurchasing. Okay, so next are these Kiss Look So Natural falsies. I used this whole pack just to practice putting falsies on. Turns out I hate putting falsies on and I'm bad at it. And I have naturally long lashes, so A, I don't need them. B, long lashes make it hard for me to put my fake lashes on because it gets stuck to my real long lashes. So I'm still figuring out that struggle. I am trying out magnetic lashes, so maybe I'll be using that in the future, but I won't be repurchasing those. Not because I don't like them, they were very pretty, I just can't figure out how to put them on. Okay, so next we have a skincare product. It is the Hyaluronic Acid All Day Hydrator Moisturizer from Sephora. This is the Sephora collection. This is like $8. I love it. It is my favorite moisturizer. I will definitely be repurchasing after I use up the moisturizer that I have now. I like this a lot and I will be repurchasing. It's affordable, it's clean, I like the ingredients in it. Next is this MAC Kabuki brush. I had this since I was a junior in high school and I just never used it anymore. It's fallen apart and it does have a lot of good memories, but I just don't really reach for it anymore, and it's time to declutter it. And this is a sad thing to see go, but it does need to go. Okay, so next, this is my mini version of my Anastasia Beverly Hills setting spray. This is what started my love for the Anastasia Beverly Hills setting spray. I did buy the full size of this and I have it currently, so I definitely will be repurchasing, and I did repurchase. Okay, so here's the Urban Decay brow box. They don't make brow boxes anymore, so this is like an antique. I don't use the taupe shade, but I used all of the dark brown shade. So this is an empty. And then next, this is a little tiny mini size of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I just got this with the Sephora order as like a free sample. I know I like it. Might be repurchasing in the future, but I just haven't yet. But that's like a holy grail. Like, if you want your makeup to stay, you buy that. So those were all of my declutters and my empties. And next, we're gonna be talking about the palettes that you guys decided that I should keep or that I should declutter. The results are in for the products that you guys have decided for me to keep and get rid of. So I gave you guys the choice between these palettes, and I'll go over each one of if I should keep it or if I should get rid of it. So we'll start with the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions palette. I bought this palette just to have as like an essential for my smoky eye looks, but I never reach for this. But I don't like the quality as much as I thought I would. These aren't really pigmented at all. That's not pigmented at all. The only colors, like these two skip, and this black is actually good, and you know, this like crease shade is actually good, but besides that, I don't really like the metallics. This shade completely fell out, and these two skip. So I explained that on my story, and you guys decided 22 to 78 that I should get rid of this. So this is a declutter. Next is the Just My Luck palette by ColourPop. And I bought this almost 2 years ago. And I have this color now in a different palette. I have these colors in different palettes. I don't even like this color. I have these colors in different palettes. So I just, you know what, I have the colors. I don't really like the quality actually. I don't know what happened to this palette, but I don't know if it's expired now or whatever, but I'm not really loving the quality. So I think I'm gonna so you guys voted 45 to 55 for me to declutter this palette. So I will be decluttering this palette. So goodbye. Next is the Celestial Thunder palette. This was gifted to me. I have all of these shades. I wasn't super blown away by the quality, but I was excited when I first got it. So you guys voted 53 to 47 that I should keep this palette. So this will be staying in my collection some more, and maybe I'll do a video of like makeup I thought about getting rid of but decided to keep, or something like that, or like makeup I was going to declutter but kept. I don't know. Let me know if that sounds good to you guys, but I will be keeping the Celestial Thunder palette. This is the Pure Festival 2.0 palette, and I have all of these colors. I do really like the quality, but I have all of these colors except for these two and this color in the bottom row. I have all of these colors. I even have this blue in a palette, but 36 to 64 that I will declutter it. So I'm going to do what you guys told me to do and declutter it. Okay, so next is the Nubian 2 palette by Juvia's Place. And I got this as a birthday present from my sister. And the reason I was thinking of decluttering it is because I do have all of these colors in other palettes. And I don't really reach for this palette because it doesn't have a mirror. And it's just, I don't know, I just never reach for it. But you guys decided 52 to 48 that I should keep this palette, so I will be keeping it. Okay, this one is funny. So this is the Little Briar Rose palette by Storybook Cosmetics, and the packaging is really cool that it's like a book, but I don't really have a ton of space for my makeup to begin with, so the fact that this much is just taken up by one palette is just feels like a lot of shelves for your makeup, and you want to like have all of these like lined up, like that would be really cool, but I just don't have the space for that. So, and I do really like some of these shades. Again, a good amount of palettes, so I do have almost all of these shades in one of my palettes. When I asked you guys what you guys wanted me to do, if you wanted me to declutter it or keep it, it came down to a 50-50 split. I decided that I would keep this palette, and I haven't officially used it yet. So I decided that I would keep it, try it out, and then at the end of the year, if I decide to declutter it, I can go ahead and do that. But you guys kind of made me have to make the choice of whether to keep it or not. And since it was 50-50, I was like, you know what? I haven't officially done a look with this yet. Let me keep it around. So this is staying with me for now. So there were 6 palettes that I let you guys choose on. 3 of them are getting decluttered, 3 of them are staying. So I think that's a pretty good split. I did want to declutter. I am really proud of myself. I didn't think I would declutter as much as I am. So that is definitely very good. Happy that that's happening. So I'm losing my voice. It is almost 1 a.m. I have work tomorrow. Even though it's work from home and it's virtual, I need to get to bed. My dog is sleeping on my bed by herself. I need to go cuddle up with her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like this look, don't forget to check out my Raw Beauty Christy X ColourPop video where I try out the products and I do a quick review of them. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if this video inspired you to declutter anything or go through your makeup, declutter anything, makeup or not, comment down below what you decluttered. It is time for me to go to bed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!